So I'm going to get my thank yous out of the way. This is probably the hardest part for me. I want to first of all thanks. I always heard people in their speeches previously to thanking the events team, and you really don't know how much work it goes into these events until you're involved in them. So thanks to Damien, Lauren, and Josh, and the rest of the team. I want to give thanks to my organization, especially Mark Hodge and his organization. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him and his dedication to his team and the hard work and just the overall entrepreneurial mentality. Him and I definitely relate on that. He's always telling me stuff that he's got going on, and I just appreciate all the work he's done for his team over the years. To my organization, I wish I could say something individually about you, all of you, but there's just really not enough time. So Steve, Victoria, Kevin, Sydney, Adam, Jane, Tarek, Carl, Grant, Nabil, Francis, Anna, Anoop, Brandon, and Sam, thank you so much for y'all's hard work over the years. You don't get to these levels without a strong team behind you, so thank you so much. Our assistant managers, Scotty, Arlena, Stephen, Kenny, Godwin, and Talia. I look forward to you guys opening up this year as well. And Scotty, I definitely look forward to beating you in challenges moving forward. So all the recruiters in our organization, none of us would be here without our recruiters, the backbone to our business. So thanks so much. And one especially, my recruiter and business partner, Laura McGuire. I'm already getting choked up. I'm supposed to get choked up on my family, so. So it's really cool to find a business partner that works just as hard for you, for our business, than you do. I promised you a future of financial rewards and freedom, and I'm definitely going to come through. To our AT&T campaign team, Anthony, Steve, and Jen, thank you so much for your hard work. Anthony, I really truly appreciate our relationship over the last year or so. And Jen and Steve, I've known you guys forever, so thank you so much. And one thing, Anthony, you said to me stood out. So what kind of consultant are you going to be, JP? And it's just those little nuggets that you get over time in your career that sort of resonate with you. And then Jay Cuff with AT&T. I know you're probably going to be at home watching this, or at some point in time you'll watch it. Thank you so much for all the stuff you've done over the years. The SIGCOR team, SIGCOR is amazing. If I could go down the list of all the SIGCOR team members that have made an impact on my life, I'll be here all night. I just want to highlight a few: Kelly Seville, Jessica Pope, Lisa Stein, Jessica Rosano, Gabe, Crystal Fernandez, and the rest of the amazing team. Thank you so much. These are pretty important. Olivia and Pat Garrity, thank you for approving my background checks over the years and any compliance issues we had, so thank you. Thank you for those. Peter Barberg from Southwestern Consulting. I got into consulting, corporate coaching about a year ago, and to be honest with you, I wasn't at a good spot personally or professionally. You made a good change in my life. To my OGs, this is not an official group. And first of all, I'm going to try not to cry in this, but I've already almost cried twice, so y'all just bear with me on this. So to my OGs, this is not an official group. If you're out there, you've been in this business for a while, and you're maybe not promoted yet or whatever, just keep grinding. If you're wondering if you're an OG, you can come back to me later, and I'll tell you if you're in the group or not. You probably know who you are. So. To my bombs over the years, Lauren Levy and Christina England, thank you for making my business look beautiful. To all the recruiters, to all the leaders and recruiters I've had in my business over the years. It's not everyone that promotes out as a part of your business now that helps you get to those goals. It's those people along the way. So some of my best friends in life are people that were in my business that are not anymore, but some of my best friends are people that were in my business previously. So thank you so much. To the consultants that made an impact in my life, thank you so much. And significant others that are there with the different kind of hours that we sometimes have, and the team nights and that support the members of our family, thank you. To our hubs, Adrian, Manisha, and Casey, thanks so much. They are awesome. Casey Marlowe and her soothing voice, if anyone has Casey as a hub. You could call her and the building's burning down and she's like, it's going to be okay, JP, It's she's amazing, and she's I don't know what she's done how she gets that skill, but she's absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. So my boy Malcolm, who flew out here last night and surprised me, he got me in the business. I was a personal recruit. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So thanks. When I used to suck at the field, as Ed noted, Malcolm used to come over and go over product knowledge with me with my house when I wasn't making any money and I wasn't that good. So thanks. Elijah Medge, thank you for always thinking differently. I would come to Elijah with some issue in my office, and he would give me a completely different way to think about it, and I wanted to sometimes hit him. And but I sort of needed that at times, and we're like two completely different people. And that sort of shows how, it doesn't matter what kind of personality trait you have, you can be successful in this business. Vera, Gary, and John, you the pioneers of our business. Thank you so much for your examples of parents and, leaders and just integrity. I think at some point in time, people have to know who they're following and decide if that's, what's the squeeze, if the orange is worth the squeeze or whatever it is. The juice is worth the squeeze kind of thing. Yeah, that. And knowing that you have these leaders in front of you that have your back when it's all said and done. So I appreciate what the business you guys have built for us. Thank you. Ed and Brandy, you guys are like my work parents. Even though you're not that much older than me. Ed and Brandy is like your mother and your father, which one to go to on certain things, So depending on what kind of answer I want. So I really appreciate y'all's examples to our business, and we want to live the lifestyle that you guys have. So thank you. To Mox 97 Posse and Ken Gutnick. I think if you guys notice the power of Forum, we got into Forum, I guess 3 years ago, and we promoted 3 or 4 consultants, maybe more since then. And thank you for Vera and Gary and facilitating that. So that's been a big game changer for us. And Ken Gutnick, I've always been an entrepreneur. I opened up my first company when I was 17, and I've had, literally I could go in my phone and tell you guys 10 businesses that I think probably be billion-dollar businesses, but it's just you can't really capitalize on every idea you have, right? But one thing that Ken said to me one time is JP, you need to be an entrepreneur with inside Sidcore, and I'm like, that makes sense, right? So. So my dad and my stepmom, Judy, thank you so much for everything you've done for our family over the last years and last 20 years now. It's one of those things you dream about. It's crazy how you want to hit this promotion so badly, not just because for yourself, but you want to tell the people around you what kind of impact they made on you. So, my dad coached me in t-ball all throughout sports and taught me how to win. And we won. We were undefeated in t-ball and every other thing. We were the team to be on, and it had a lot to do with my dad's coaching. He would take people that were average and make them great. And thank you so much for teaching me how to win, Dad. And he also taught me not to ever give up. There's times in the business, and if someone's always giving you the advice that you're already thinking, that's the wrong person to talk to. You know what I mean? It's the easy thing to do. Is oh, you should quit. I was thinking about quitting. That's a great idea, right? That's the wrong person to talk to. The person you should talk to is the person who's going to tell you the contrarian advice, right? So something that you think a little bit different, right? So my dad, it's times in my business, and I've thought about quitting a million times, which I'll touch on in a second, but My dad never told me to quit. He just said, Jonathan, hard work always pays off, so just keep at it, So thank you, Dad. To my nephews, Jacob and Dylan, I'm so thankful you guys are here. You are both amazing athletes, and I wanted you guys to be here more than anything just so you guys could see what happens when you reach your goals. And I'm not done yet, but I'm so glad you guys to do it. You gotta push through and always work hard to reach your goals. To my mom, for showing me unconditional love and to show what unconditional love is. Thank you for being that example. And I know she wants to cry right now. And her tireless work ethic. My mom can come to my house and she won't sit down the whole time she's there. I'm like, Mom, why don't you come sit down? And I really got that from her, I think, and she's just amazing work ethic. And thank you for being an example. Both my mom and my father of what great parents look like. And thank you so much. And always just showing up, Mother. If Amber and I ever need you, you're always there. Like you would just drop everything you're doing to come. So thank you. To my kids, Auburn and Jagger. Are y'all on the camera? I love you guys so much. I love coming home and y'all running up and grabbing me and Daddy's home. Auburn, you're beautiful. I love your spirit. I love your business savviness, just always negotiating. You're a future business owner. I know you are. Thank you for just being awesome. Thank you for being a good big sister to your brother. They're like two peas in a pod. And I love you. Jagger man, you never cease to amaze me. You're funny. You're just a good kid. You have a great heart. So thank you for being awesome. I love you both. To my wife, Amber, you're beautiful. I love you so much. You're my best friend. The one I confide in when I'm not happy, the first person I call when I celebrate. I always wanted to be someone that pushed me to be better, and you definitely do that. I've been frustrated in the business at times, and not one time have you said, well, why don't you just go do something else? You've never done that, and I love you, and thank you so much. And it's funny. I want to say this too about Amber. Is like you're the girl I always dreamed of too. I was thinking about. It's weird. I think it's just God's plan. I was thinking that I would marry an Amber before I knew Amber. Isn't that crazy? So I'm glad it was you. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys a walk-in time. So I was supposed to get promoted a long time ago. I told my dad every conference, I'm gonna get promoted in Atlanta and Dallas and Punta Cana. You name a city where we've had a conference, a national conference or Keys, that's for the last 5 years, I probably was supposed to get promoted there. So, but a few things happened. So Chris B was getting promoted in 2017 at R&R in Punta Cana. I'm like, who would want to get promoted in Punta Cana, right? In a tropical place. Who would want to do that, right? Plus, Chris has that tight suit on with his biceps. I don't even know how he does that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait till he's done. Well, I want to share the stage with him. And who would want to get your parents and family to come to Punta Cana? No one, right? So then Holly gets promoted in 2017 at NatCon, and Colin was promoting her, and there was probably twice as many people. I'm like, who would want to get promoted in front of so many people? I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wait. I'm going to give that to her. And then Hannah gets promoted at 2018 in NatCon. It took her 6 weeks to get promoted. And there's no secret that it did not take me 6 weeks to get promoted. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let her have that one too. I'm going to wait. Then my boy Mark Hodge gets promoted. And he's got great hair and a great beard and a bunch of hair on his head, which I do not have. And he's also one of my guys that, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to let him have that one too. And then Shane gets promoted last conference. And where's Shane at? Where's he at? He's over there. He's very tan, and he also works out every day. I actually was working out with him. I think at that, I was working out. I was in there doing a little bit, and he was like, and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to share the stage with him. Plus, I knew we probably wouldn't both have enough time to talk. So. I couldn't pass that up, Shane. Sorry. So I decided to wait till Vegas 2020 with all you guys. My parents had never been to Vegas, so I decided to, just to wait. It's perfect timing, right? We couldn't be any better. Look at this. So I've daydreamed and dreamt about this promotion for so many years. Like that walkout song that I had has been in my head for so many years. Walking across that stage has been in my head for so many years, and it's finally cool and somewhat surreal to finally get here, and super cool. I love it. So I'm gonna give you guys a few mistakes I've made over the years. I'm gonna share some knowledge that I've had, and hopefully you guys can get something out of this. But one mistake I've made is don't compare yourself to other people. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Some people are gonna go faster than others. It doesn't matter, okay? It is a marathon, not a sprint, okay? I've never received a $1 Million Club award. I've never received a Promoting Owner award. In fact, this is the first time I've ever spoke at a conference like this. It just goes to show you don't always have to. I think I remember John saying this, and I could always relate to this. He said he never got those awards, if I remember correctly. And honestly, those things are important to me, but they're not that important. My guys and their success is really the most important thing. And the short-term thing of me hitting a Promoting Honor bonus was never been the goal. It'd been cool, but it was never been the goal. So don't compare yourself to other people. Sometimes I focused on the wrong things, putting the cart before the horse. For a couple of years, maybe a year and a half, I was focusing on getting promoted and not what was right in front of me. And I'm going to get promoted, I'm going to get promoted, I'm going to get promoted. Remember I was telling you, I told my dad at every conference, right? I was focusing on the wrong thing, and I had to regroup and say, you know what, I got to build good people in my office and build a really strong office. If I do that, everything else is going to take care of itself. So don't put the cart before the horse. Focus on what's right in front of you. So here's my advice. So if you guys heard that video with Eric Thomas and all those guys, never give up, I could have given up so many times. There's a time in the field, as Ed alluded to, I wasn't that good at the field. I had 8 years of sales experience before I first started. So when I came in this business, I owned my own company when I was 17. I started at 25, and I thought I was going to be God's gift to this business. I thought this would happen like 10 years ago. And as you all know, the field in this business will give you a little humble pie. There was a day I was in hot Atlanta. It was probably like 150 degrees there that day. And I don't think I ever told Ed this, but there was a day that I wanted to pick up my phone. I think I picked my phone up. I had a Nextel push-to-talk. And I was going to call Ed and quit, but I never dialed the number. It was just that fleeting thought. And I was like, what am I doing? I can't quit. I'm not a quitter, right? So there's a quote by Vince Lombardi. It says, once you learn to quit, it becomes a habit. And there was a time when I was on AT&T Business to Business and the campaign wasn't doing very well. And I remember sitting outside of my apartment, and to be quite frank, I wasn't able to pay my bills at the time. And there was no reason why I should have kept going at that time. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. There was no campaign change on the horizon. There was no reason to keep going. But guess what I did? I just kept going. I didn't know what the future was, but I just kept going. They don't do promotion speeches for quitters. They don't do promotion speeches for quitters. Have you ever seen that? No. There's no videos on YouTube that says how to be the best quitter. So you got to persevere. So there's a song, a country song, and I live in Nashville. I never listened to country until I came to Nashville, but by Rodney Atkins. And it says, if you're going through hell, keep on going. Don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it. You might get out before the devil even knows you're there. So in business and life, we go through valleys. You just got to keep going. So another advice I have is work your butt off. So I went out in the field. So to be real with you guys, I'm getting promoted to consultant today, but my office is not really where it needs to be right now. And some of my guys know, and Scotty knows this, I'm in the field, in the trenches right now. So I was out in the field all week last week on New Year's week. I was out in the field, the day before I came here, and the day before that, and the day before that, because that's what my business calls for right now. And I'm going to do it until I get to where I need to be. So I went out in the field. I got up at 6 a.m. Amber was out of town, so I was on daddy duty, full-time daddy duty. I got my kids ready, and then I got them on the bus, took Jagger to school, went to work, went out in the field, territory about an hour away, came back to the office, dropped my new people off, went back. And when I got home, I was detailing my car. And I was like armor-alling it and vacuuming it out because I had some new guys I was going to train the next day, and I didn't want them to get in my car dirty, which I do all the time. I clean my car all the time. And I got to thinking about it as I was vacuuming my car. I'm like, this is why I'm getting promoted. I have leaders that talk about, or that they don't have enough time in their day, yet I'm working however many hours that is, and I'm coming home and I'm detailing my interior of my car. So you have to have an amazing work ethic. My philosophy is if I'm going to lose, I'm definitely not going to lose because I didn't work hard enough. So you have to work hard. If you're not where you want to be, ask yourself, could you be working harder? Talk about and visualize your goals. This day has been visualized in my brain since I started this business, and I may be a little bit different than most people. I knew I was going to be a consultant, and I was going to the top of this company before I started the business. Okay, like I said, I was a personal recruiter, and when I heard about the opportunity, I knew I was going all the way to the top. Now, did I think it was going to be the time frames? No, but I knew I was going to the top. Okay, so you have to visualize where you want your life to be, and then talk about it, because that's the only thing that your guys can relate to. They want to know where you're going. Other advice I have for you guys is the grass is not greener on the other side. I've seen corporate America jobs. I've seen other entrepreneurial jobs. Like, we get caught up in the fact that it could be easier. Yeah, it could be easier, but you're going to get the rewards in the end. Nothing is easy. The grass is not greener. There's a saying by Eric Thomas that says, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. And I definitely can relate to that. Our business is not challenging, but we can definitely put ourselves in a situation to do big things. The last thing on my advice is you can do anything you put your mind to. The word can't is something I've never been able to relate to. When I hear people say that, I can't do this, I immediately correct them. And I say, you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. If you think of any great company or invention that's happened, it started with an idea, It started with an idea, and they made it come true. So I'm going to share a few things in closing about why I love this business, and I'll close it out, and I think I'm on good time. So why I love this business. First and foremost, I love going to work every day. So I've been doing this business total for 15 years, and I love going to work. I get up in the morning. I don't dread getting up out of bed. I throw on my clothes. And I hurry to work because I like the competition. I like the work. I like to do it. So I love what I do. I love impacting people's lives. What I really love is when you get someone that may not have worked out in the business and you get this random Facebook message that's like a book, and someone tells you how you impacted their lives. And it wasn't even someone that was successful in this business. They just remember something you taught them. So I love that. I love the freedom it can create at times in this business. And I say at times is because if your office is not in a good spot, sometimes you may not have as much freedom, But I can tell you this right now, and Auburn can attest to this, my daughter, I always go to her field day. I don't care if there's 0 people in my office. I'm going to go to her field day that day. And same thing for Jagger's amazing athletes when he gets to show off his skills. That's one thing that I've always, and that's why I went through the field, is to have freedom to make those decisions and not have someone tell me that I can't take off. I love the freedom. I also love the 1%. Okay, I'm going to share with you guys what the 1% is. But before I can do that, I want to share with you guys what the 99% is. The 99% is the long days. You know, getting up early and staying late. Some days I'll leave the house at 6:45 or 7 and then get home at 11 o'clock at night after team night. Okay, that's a long day, and most people can't do that. Okay, that's a long day. The rejection. We hear no more than we hear yes. We're in sales, right? From recruiting to sales, we're going to hear no more than we hear yes. And that's the 99%. The other 99% is working Saturdays on a residential campaign for 10 years. You know, that's the 99%. I mean, a lot of people are not willing to do that. In fact, I mean, I don't see that as a negative. I just go to do work and I come home, and whether I'm going to the field or coming home and hanging out with my family, the only time I don't do that is during soccer season when my kids are playing. Or the sharp new guy decides he wants to do a quote-unquote normal job. You know, comes in for a couple of days and quits, says he wants to do a normal job, okay? So that's the 99%. The 1% is what I love. But you can't get the 1% without the 99%. The 1% is promoting one of your good friends to management, like Victoria or Kevin. You know, the 1% is doing a promotion event, or assistant manager promotion, or having one of your outside deals promote a deal. That's the 1%. Those celebrations that happen periodically in our business. The 1% is what I love, and some of you owners know what I'm talking about, is when your office is not doing that well for a while, and you're just like grinding, and all of a sudden you guys turn the corner and y'all just crush it that day, and you go home and you're like jamming out to your favorite rap music, right? Maybe that's just me, but I definitely do that. So that's what I love. And this is the 1%. It's the reaching milestones in this business that you've been working so hard for. So where do I go from here? So this is a title change. What this means for me is a title change, a benchmark in my career, a day that I have an opportunity to thank the people that have impacted my life. You know, goals for me. I want to get as many of my guys up here to hit this $1 million bonus that we have on the horizon. Is going to happen, and it's going to be a collective effort by all of us to get as many of my guys in my organization up here collecting these $1 million checks. I'm going to get promoted to senior national consultant in the next 18 months. I've got a lot of work to do, but I'm going to do it. And I want to continue to grow a beautiful life with great wealth and to create more freedom for myself personally. That's where I'm going from here. So thank you so much for listening. God bless, and y'all have a great day.